Hey everybody, it's Chandler Ragsdale back with part two here. We're talking about now the outward disciplines rather than the inward disciplines. So the first question we're going to talk about is what was most compelling to me out of this? And by far, there was this quote. It's off of page 88, and I'm going to do a little bit of paraphrasing. I wrote it down in my notebook here. It's about, to me, it just relates right away to money, honestly. It's about the discipline of simplicity and just how we can live a simple life. And so he was talking about just not being anxious about things, and he goes with this. If we go with a three-step kind of approach to how we view our things, we won't be anxious about them. So the first one was you receive what you have as a gift. And going back to money again, like you receive what you have as a gift. God's given it to us. Secondly, that whatever you have can be cared for by God. And then thirdly, you need to be open to sharing it with others. So those three things, when I read it, it stuck out to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But it definitely stuck with me after I read it, and I've definitely applied it to my financial life right away, and it's really helped me. And I don't feel nearly as anxious about money as I was. I mean, I'm a young 22-year-old guy, and I'm just starting. I've been on my own financially since I graduated high school and came to college. However, it's getting more serious each year, of course, and to have this now has just really helped me. I wish I would have known it before, but knowing it now really helps me. I'm going to use that in a sermon of mine in the future because it really just it spoke volumes to me. And then just the whole chapter of simplicity really spoke to me, but that, of course, out of that. And then secondly, what was the most troubling? And this was kind of hard for this part. I didn't find much of what he talked about with the outward disciplines really troubling. But on page 130, it's talking about humility, and there's this quote. This is a direct quote. To think we have it is sure evidence that we don't. Talking about humility. And yes, I know I've heard that, if you think you're humble, you're really not, things like that. However, I do think that there is a point that you can know you're humble and still be humble. Jesus obviously knows that he's humble and he's still humble. He knows everything, of course, and he's perfect. Therefore, he's humble, but he knows it. He just doesn't brag about it, he doesn't show off about it. So I think that there is a way that we can know that we're humble without being arrogant about it. But and I heard somebody else on their post talk about this. Kind of makes Dr. Foster sometimes kind of makes us feel a little like downcast and a little selfish and a little like I don't know, kind of like a wretch almost sometimes in his writing. He kind of downplays a lot of things and makes he's very like don't do that kind of thing. And so for that quote specifically, when I was reading that, it stuck out to me. And I don't know. I think you can be humble and know you're humble. It depends on how you act about it. And that's where I'm going to go with that. So overall, the outward discipline's pretty straightforward with me. I thought they were all beneficial, and the three-step process again with how I've applied that to my financial life has really helped me to grow. It really has. So that's that.